All right, so the GOP is in the midst of this really crucial leadership shuffle as even Michigan's Jack Bergman has thrown his hat into the ring for House Speaker following Jim Jordan's rejection, essentially, by his own peers.
Yeah, Tom Emmer seems to be the front runner at this point, Tom. Kevin McCarthy, who was ousted as Speaker on Friday, nominated Jim Jordan in a passionate speech. By Sunday's talk shows, Jordan was out. McCarthy was back up in front of the cameras, now supporting Tom Emmer. Talk about a crisis file report needed. Join us now is Roshini Rajkumar, political strategist, attorney, and host of the Crisis Files podcast. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. It's great to be with you. And, I can also share a little insight. In my previous radio show of 9 years, I interviewed Tom Emmer many times in my home state of Minnesota. And, I'm not surprised McCarthy has backed him. As you know, I'm a centrist, but Tom Emmer has a way of putting things into very plain speak and building coalitions. And at least when he'd come on my show, he sounded very reasonable to me. And this is what I think the Republican Party needs, is a reasonable voice.
Yes, but can he get 217 votes? Can he make Matt Gaetz and his crew happy and Kevin McCarthy and his group happy? For some reason, it seems to be almost an impossible effort to get all of the Republicans to agree on anything. I think they're going to meet at 6 o'clock tonight again behind closed doors. What do they have to – they get in the room, they get on the call. What do they have to say to get everybody on board?
Well, I think they first have to ask themselves individually and then discuss as a group, do we want any kind of winning in the future election cycles? Because when they can't even come together themselves as a party, as a group, as a conference, they're not going to get anything accomplished anywhere else. And so it's going to require collaboration and compromise, and they're going to have to have some tough conversations with each other, and feelings will be hurt. But you've got to come out of that closed-door session deciding if you want any wins in the future. Because if this continues to go on like this, and 9 different men from the Congress beat the deadline to put their name in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's going to be kind of crazy whittling that down. So that's really what they have to see. What's the end result? What are the stakes? Because they are pretty high right now.
Well, the Republicans are going to get blamed for gridlock if they don't move because nothing can get done until they elect a speaker. And you have this debt ceiling issue coming back, another potential government shutdown right around the corner. You got a worldwide crisis in Israel and Gaza. This has to look absolutely terrible for Republicans.
It looks terrible for Republicans. And I mean, it should look terrible for everybody that has elected office right now at the national level. But it really is going to get blamed on the Republicans because this is the thing that is causing the gridlock. They can't vote on things. They can't really discuss, come together in their normal fashion. So, I mean, they're going to have to really suck it up. I mean, to put it in plain speak, they're going to have to suck it up and put their egos aside.
Is that a legal term?
Yes. Sucking
it
up.
is. We studied it every year in law school.
We all studied that. We know what it means. Sometimes it's necessary to suck it up. And now you've got, former President Donald Trump. You mentioned Tom Emmer, and he sounds like he makes a lot of common sense. He's got these great fundraising prowess, I guess, is a very strong asset of his, which is something the GOP needs right now. But Donald Trump is stepping into this. He's kind of whipping up members against voting for Tom Emmer. How might this affect, you think, Emmer's chances and the overall dynamics of the speaker race?
Well, it could for sure. But here's the thing, and I remember this from Tom coming on my show in the early years of Donald Trump's presidency, and even while Trump was running for office, Tom Emmer was not afraid to criticize Donald Trump, and it gave him credibility with moderates, with Democrats, and with others, even though he is sometimes called pretty conservative as a Republican. So I think we have to just kind of see behind the scenes. There are going to be some people that won't be vocal about it, but I'm sure even people that are Trump fans want the Republicans to come out of this ahead and to come out with a speaker.
Yeah, so they don't want a Hakeem Jeffries.
It would hurt as much.
Right.
Yeah, because, look, it didn't help Jim Jordan to be someone who Trump supported.
Yeah. So looking at the broader political landscape, because there's a lot of accusations that GOP is in disarray, how do you think the Republican Party's internal strife, which is there, and then the influence of the major donors and whatnot, and the establishment figures. How does that compare to maybe some similar dynamics within the Democratic Party?
Yeah, see, I don't think anyone is really sitting pretty right now. I think there are so many problems going on. And then when we look at the economy, there is a Democrat in the White House, and Biden is going to get blamed for a lot of, what is hurting people's pocketbooks and other things going on, the student loan debacle, all these different things that Biden and the Democrats will get blamed for, interest rates, all of those things. So, neither party is doing very well. Both parties need some wins. And it's going to start, if the Republicans can show, hey, we're going to come out of tonight's meeting more unified, we're going to have a voice, we're going to put differences aside, that's going to go a long way, actually, even beyond just the speaker discussion. And that's really, if I were in the room counseling them, that's what I would say. Are you going for the short term, or are you going for the long term wins here?
Yeah, can they turn lemons into lemonade somehow by saying we took our time, we took a lot of time, and it's messy, and that's how sausage is made, but we now have a Speaker of the House who is going to be tough on spending and hold Joe Biden and the Democrats accountable and do something about this inflation and the interest rates. Can they get a win out of this?
Well, Kevin, how you just phrased it, you should almost transcribe that and send it to them, because those words are exactly what would resonate with people, regardless of party, and should resonate with a lot of Republicans. It's holding the Democrats accountable, holding anyone with money accountable, or who's over control of money. That is really going to resonate. And if that's what people believe Tom Emmer can bring to the table, believe me, that is a good thing for Tom Emmer.
Is there a misalignment, do you think, between the GOP's donor class and the GOP's voter base? Because a lot of these, Matt Gaetz's and Jim Jordan's, they say they're doing exactly what their constituents want them to do. Are they misaligned, the constituents and the donors?
I really think they are, because I remember before Trump was elected for president, and, for sure before he was elected, there were a lot of people that you might not think were huge Trump fans, very wealthy, very successful business people who just were like, we need to vote for Trump. We don't always like his PR skills and his bombast, but he's the one that takes care of the financial side. So that to me was kind of, it was an anecdote that I was hearing over and over, but to me that represents the donor class. And when you think about the people that are really vociferous for Trump, it is a lot of, what we might call working class, a lot of people that are real people, but might not be the deep pocketbook. So it's an interesting clash that's happening, Tom, that you described. And I don't know what's going to happen, because at some point they either have to merge or totally go their separate ways. But there might be a little bit of a false sense of how much power Trump actually has with the donor class, is my analysis of this.
That's a great analysis, and always appreciate it. Roshini Rajkumar, political strategist and host of the Crisis Files podcast. Roshini, great to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you both.